In this example, we're going to look at calculating the variance and standard deviation from raw data. And in this example, 6 people took a midterm exam in their psychology class, and their grades were given here as 65, 50, 73, 82, 100, 99. Now we're going to find the variance and standard deviation. So we're first going to find the variance. Now in order to do so, we're going to calculate n, the number of data values there are in the sample, and there are a total of 6 data values. Then we're going to calculate the sum of the x's squared. So that means to take each of these data values, square them, and then add them up. So we're going to take 65, square it, plus the next 50, square it, and then the next 73, square it, and so on for each data value. And then we're going to calculate that all together, and we're going to get 38,579. Then the next step would be to calculate the sum of the x's. The sum of the x's. Now the sum of the x's just means to add each one of these data values together. So we're going to take 65 plus 50 plus 73 plus 82 plus 100 plus 99. Now when we add all of those data values, we get 469. Now in order to calculate the variance, we're going to use our s squared as saying that's our sample variance, just shorthand notation. And we're going to take the formula n times the sum of the x's squared minus the sum of the x's, then square it, and divide by n times n minus 1. Now the formula looks pretty big, but if you take it step by step, it's not too bad of a calculation. So we're going to take n, which we found was 6 data values, and then we're going to take the sum of the x's squared, which we had calculated up here. So we're going to take 38,579, and then we're going to subtract out, we're going to take the sum of the x's squared, which we've got 469. The sum of the x is 469. Then we're going to square that and divide by 6 times 6 minus 1. So just doing that calculation all out, just multiplying, we'll get 231474 minus 469 squared, we'll get 219961, and then 6 times 5 is 30. So when we do our subtraction here, we'll get 11513 and divide it by 30, and that equals 383.76 repeating. So that is our variance. And then what we're going to do, we're asked to calculate the standard deviation. Now the standard deviation is really the square root of the variance. So all we have to do really is take the s is the square root of the variance. So s is really referring to the standard deviation. So we're going to take the square root of that number that we just got. So really we're just taking the square root of this entire formula that we had written over on the left side. It looks big, like I said before, but it's really not. And then when we take the square root of that, we're really taking the square root of 383.76 repeating. And when we do that, we're going to get 19.6. And 19.6 is the standard deviation for this raw data.